Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm here to work on the next part of my folio. So just to save a bit of time in this video, all of my pieces were cut out as you saw in the previous one, but I have already started going around and inking, again just to, like I say, save some time. The only thing I've done between now and the last video is I've put my fabric across all of my spines, because you saw how I did that in the last one. So I just finished it off in between filming. I've also attached this ribbon all the way around the outside, and I've already put my back paper on that just kind of covers that. So all I need to do now is do my front cover, but I wanted to, like I say, just show you what I've done, because those of you that might be new to journaling may not know how this is done. So all I've done is just put some double-sided tape on this side and on the back, and then I just wrapped my ribbon around, and then obviously having the paper over the top also just secures it and holds it in place. So I think we'll start with the outside, since that's where we are, and like I said, I've got everything all inked and ready. So this is then going to be the front cover. Now I've already cut my music strips to size, so they're obviously going to go down at the bottom. And then the only other thing that I've done is, while, like I've said before, I don't mind the colour of this file folder because I think it goes quite nicely with the kit. I did actually cut out from the music paper scraps a little tab that I'm going to put on there, just to kind of keep the colours similar. So all I did to get that shape was the same way that I was able to get the shape of these pockets. All I did was kind of put my music paper behind here, draw around it, and then I cut around. I did make it a bit longer so that obviously when I stick it down, this paper is definitely then going to be covering it up. So I did make this a little bit longer. But I'm going to get those bits stuck on first, and then we can start getting the inside ready. Now I do want to say a huge thank you to those that have been following along and crafting along. Lots of people have enjoyed using these papers and making the folio along with me, so that's really great to see. If you do make this folio, obviously you may choose different papers to me. It doesn't have to be with the watercolour wings kit, but I would love to see your folio. So if you are not part of my Facebook group, Non-Stop Papercrafts Facebook group, I'd love for you to come over and join. Or if you're somebody that posts on Instagram or something, if you can tag me in when you're posting pictures, because as I say, it would just be really interesting to kind of see how you've done it, and if you've tweaked anything, changed anything, because the way I do it isn't necessarily the right way. It's just my process, my way of doing it, but you may have perhaps change the layout of yours, as I said, also maybe use different papers, or even if you've used the same kit as me, you may have decided to use different papers in different places. So all of those things, yeah, I'd just like to kind of see how you've kind of put yours together. So on other social media, I am the same name, so I'm Non-Stop Papercrafts, whether that's on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever. I'm always Non-Stop Papercrafts, so that tag is the same everywhere. Okay, so to really make sure that that sticks, I'm just going to open up the folio. I'm just going to push it down from the other side, because it's hard to do it from the front, because obviously I've got all this underneath as well. So just giving it a rub from this side. Okay, I've got a teensy bit of fabric. Not that it matters, because obviously this will be covered by paper, but just going to put a bead of glue down there just to make sure that sticks down. Right, okay, so that's the front cover. I might still play around with this and do something else on the front, but at least that's the base of it done. So when we open up, obviously on this side we've got that big vellum pocket, so I have the same going on the other side. So again, I've inked around everything already. So that paper's going to go there, and then the music paper underneath. So we'll stick the music paper down first. Oops. Okay, and then the paper, like I said, I have inked around already on this. Okay, and again, just to make sure that that sticks, I'm just going to push it down from the other side. Just like that. Okay, and then this was the other half of that vellum envelope. I literally just sliced it up the middle and sliced off the top. So this one's then going to go on this side here. The nice thing about this glue is it does dry clear. You only need a teeny tiny fine bead. So I'm going to mirror what I've done on the other side. And as soon as you push down on it and that glue spreads, it goes thin and then it goes clear. So you can't even see where the glue's gone. Okay, but that still gives you your pocket there to put stuff in. Right, so now that that's that page done, coming onto the inside, so I'm just going to grab these pieces and move this over so you can see. So we've got a couple of things going on. So on this side, we're going to have our vellum pockets, but then there's also going to be that purple envelope that also has the mini envelopes on. So before I stick this down, I want to stick this down because it's on a hinge. So I'm going to move that for the moment, just so we can focus on this bit. So the first thing I think I'm going to do is just glue these envelopes into place. Now all I've done with these coin envelopes is I've tucked the flap in just so that they're more like pockets than envelopes. And then I'm going to, like I said, just stick these in. So I'm just going to make sure that they are spaced out correctly. Again, it doesn't have to be dead exact. And I'm just going to put some glue behind there just to hold that one in place. And then do the same on the others. Okay, also going to put some glue along there and seal that. Oh, one thing that I've forgotten to do that I should have done beforehand is I needed to cut a slit on this side of the envelope because this will then be the pocket, because obviously we've sealed it here. So if you are crafting along, do that first. I'm just going to come in with my scissors. I'm just going to go behind here and I'm just going to very carefully just cut a slither off this bit here. Okay, there we go. So it was just a little slither like that. but at least I now have my opening. So if you are crafting along, make sure you do that first, because I just made that super awkward for myself. Right, now just need to make sure, because obviously it comes away a little bit there, so I'm just going to get some glue behind there as well. Just want to make sure that that's completely stuck down, and check the other end as well. Right, okay, now then, because you can still see the writing, and I know it's not a lot, but because you can see the writing, I'm going to have this literally coming up far enough that it covers the writing. So about there. And that's going to get stuck on there. Before it does though, I am just going to draw a pencil line down here just so I know. I've got this that I'm going to use because this is just copier paper. It's quite thin to be a hinge. It's going to be easily torn. This is on a kind of thicker paper. I think this is like 160 GSM. So I'm actually going to stick this to that just to strengthen it as a hinge, because obviously this whole envelope is going to be flapping from side to side. So I'm going to stick those two together. Now originally I drew that line because I was thinking this strip only needed to be that thick, but then I thought actually I do want a bit of support on the envelope itself, which is why I haven't trimmed this bit down. So I'm just going to stick that to the back of there, like that. As I say, that's just going to add some stability to the bottom where it's going to get stuck down. Now I did notice on this side I've got a little bit of white showing, so I'm just going to trim that bit off. It does also mean I've got to re-ink. Okay. So that bit, like I said, is going to be covering the writing. So I'm going to stick this bit down first, and then I'm going to do my score line so that it's then able to hinge backwards and forwards. So glue this down first. So again, just looking where my writing is, because it needs to come just above that. So I'm going to flip it over. Again, I'm going to draw my pencil line. And then I know that this is the part that needs to be glued. Okay, just figuring out which way is the easiest way to do it, but I think it's this way because then I can see the line. So that's going to go on there like that. I'm just going to flip it over and just make sure it's even either side, which it is, and then just push it down. Okay, now that that's in place, I'm just going to attach these envelopes a bit more to the base. Okay, like that. Okay, so this then is where the hinge is going to be. So I am just going to push it backwards and forwards. Okay, then it's just deciding which way round the envelope. So is this what we're going to see first? I think I do want it that way. Yeah, I think I want it this way up. So the next bit is that's obviously going to get stuck on here. And with that underneath. So that then will hide the flap and it will come over this way. We've then got our opening, whoops, at the back here. We've also then got our 3 envelopes there. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is make sure that this is the right way up. I'm going to glue to this first, just because that's going to be easiest. Okay, this has to come down a bit. Okay, and then that is going to get stuck on there. Okay, so we've got our hinge. That's going to go that way. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is just attach along that music paper all the way along the bottom. And now I'm going to glue all of this and stick that down. Okay, so there we go. So that's that bit stuck down. This obviously hinges over. So that's all good. We've then got the vellum pocket. So same as last time, I've inked around these 3 edges because obviously it will then line up with these edges. But I've kept this plain because obviously I want it to kind of look sheer on the pattern page. So I'm going to apply my glue along here and get that stuck down. Again, this glue has been brilliant on vellum. I love that it dries clear, you can't see it, and it seems to have a really good strong hold. Okay, so we've got that vellum pocket there. Just to see what we've got there, and we've got a nice big vellum pocket here. We've obviously got these 3 envelopes there. Then when you flip over, we've got this opening here, and obviously that's a huge envelope, so huge storage. We have got some writing though that does need to be covered up, so that's kind of what I had this one for. Now I haven't inked this one because I was going to tear it, because again it's purple, so it goes really nicely. So what way are the butterflies going? Up. So if I have the butterflies going up this way, so let's see, so I can kind of tear it a bit there. I want to come round the window. Okay, so something like that. I do also have some music paper, so I could have some of that in here as well. So if that's going to go there, I could have this bit underneath. So looking something like that, and then it kind of ties in the music a little bit, doesn't it? The music paper that I've been using. I know you've got the black under there. I might see if I can put a sheet of something in there to cover that up. But yeah, I like those. So let's get those inked up and stuck down. So we'll start with the music paper. And it might be that I add some of the cut parts from the kit as well, to kind of help decorate. Oops. Okay, so we've got that. And some ink to this one. Okay, so that's that bit all done. So just to have a look then, we've got those and those there. I do want something to line in there. What could I have? So I've got these cut off from the outside. Now I know it's not quite long enough, but at least it will kind of hide what's going on in that window a little bit, won't it? So I think I will add that. So I need to cut it off about there. I'm just testing it does actually fit in. Okay, probably needs just a little bit more taken off, but I'm just going to freehand that with scissors. It doesn't matter if it's not entirely straight because it's inside. Okay, so that's how it will look. That's much better, isn't it? So I'm just going to glue that in. Actually, the best way to do that is to pop it in where you want it. And then you only really need to add glue to the top section, because the bottom bit obviously they won't get caught on as things are coming in the pocket. So I just go down as far as I can, but obviously it's that top edge where the real focus of the glue needs to be. And just lining it up with the edge of the envelope, and then I can press it down. Okay. And then we have the envelope lined. Awesome. So next bit is my window. Now obviously I used the policy closure on the other side, so I was thinking I might use this ribbon, which is the same as what's obviously wrapping the front up, to kind of wrap around and close my window. So all I've done off of camera is I've stuck these down onto the window flaps and my vellum pocket, and put some music paper on the inside just so there's something on the inside. So that's all I've done off of camera. Again, I've inked around all of this. I just need to check that this does, yeah, there's enough there to tie, isn't there? Brilliant. So what I'm going to do is on the back of here, kind of just want to make this as even as possible, don't I? Whoops. So finding the middle, it's about there. So I'm just going to raise it up slightly. I'm going to use some double-sided tape on the back. And then just carefully lay that inside the double tape. Just going to double check that this is roughly the middle, yeah, thereabouts. So now I can stick these bits down. So again, I did the same, I just traced around so I could get that shape. So I'm just going to glue that down first. Then we've got this bit to go down the bottom. And then we've got this here. Now for this I am going to use double-sided tape, just because I think the tape is just a bit more secure with the vellum at the bottom, and it's such a thin piece, so I will use double-sided tape. I think this one might be a bit too thick. I have got a slightly thinner one. So I'm putting the double-sided tape on the kind of outer edge, and then I'm always going to go over with a little bit of glue. It just helps me get that wiggle room as well if I need it. So that's all my double-sided tape down. So I just need to take off that backing, apply a bit of glue, and then stick this down as well. Okay, so now that we've got that's all glued down, we've got this nice big pocket here now. That closes off, and then obviously that's going to tie. I'm not going to pull it yet because obviously my paper's still wet where the glue is drying, so I'm just going to fold that over for now. But that are all our pieces put together for the folio. So I think it's come together really, really well. This is the folio. So I'll just take you on a quick flip through. So we've also got this paper on the front, we've got our ribbon closure. Obviously this would be tied closed, I'm just waiting for it to dry. We have a nice big vellum pocket here. We've got a nice big vellum pocket on the other side as well. This is the side we've just done, so again we've got a nice big tall vellum pocket here. We've got 3 smaller envelope pockets and then a nice big huge one there. Once this dries, this would be tied closed. We open up, we've got a nice big vellum pocket. We can see that beautiful butterfly when whatever it is we're going to put in here comes out. But I think that's a nice surprise. I do like the idea of the window and the window opening as well. So I'm really pleased that that worked how I imagined it would. So that's that side. Then this is the side we did last week. So I've still got to add actually my string to this. But this lifts up, this lifts down. We've got lots of journaling space. And we're going to put a scrappy pad in there. And then again here we've got a thin vellum pocket. And then this lifted up. We've got some stacked pockets here for different bits and pieces. And an envelope pocket here with a pocket, I believe, yeah, up the top as well. So tons of pockets, tons of storage. As I said, I'm going to let this dry, and then I think I'm going to come back for one more video, and in that last video it's going to be creating the scrappy pad for this and creating the actual journal, which I'm going to attach in this main spine here. So there'll be a journal and a scrappy pad, and then it's just putting the elements together for whatever's going to go in our pockets. But I'll get everything prepped ready for the final video, and then yeah, this will be all finished. As I say, I'm loving how it's all coming together. I really want to thank everybody that has been crafting along and making their own version. Like I said, whether you're making it with the Water Wings kit, or if you have a different kit that you want to use but still following perhaps the process of the folio, I would absolutely love to see your pictures. If you're posting on social media, just tag me in. If you are posting in the Facebook group, then obviously great, I'll get to see them anyway. Well, that's all from me. I will see you all in the next crafty video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.